Ever felt like the room was doing the tango without you? One minute you're standing fine, the next, you're grabbing onto the nearest piece of furniture like it's your long-lost love. Is the world suddenly a spinning top, or did your brain just decide to take an unapproved coffee break? And wait, could it be something as simple as standing up too fast? Or maybe even the flu? Buckle up, because we're about to unravel why your head might be pulling its worst merry-go-round impersonation. Dizziness isn't just one thing. It's like that friend with 10 different nicknames depending on who's talking. Sometimes dizziness is lightheadedness, that whoa, am I about to pass out or just morph into a cloud feeling. Other times it's vertigo, where it literally feels like the world around you is moving, even though you're standing still. But what's behind these dizzy spells? Inside your inner ear lives the vestibular system. It's basically your body's personal balance coach. It tells your brain where you are in space so you don't tip over like a poorly stacked Jenga tower. But when something throws this system off, like a viral infection, hello flu, or even when the inner ear's tiny calcium crystals shift around into the wrong part of your ear, yes, that's a thing, your balance gets hacked. Suddenly standing up feels like stepping onto a roller coaster with no brakes. Sometimes dizziness has nothing to do with vertigo or inner ear issues at all. Ever stood up too fast and felt like you just teleported to another dimension? That's because your blood pressure dipped for a second, leaving your brain scrambling to catch up. This is called orthostatic hypotension and can happen if you're dehydrated, overheated, or have been binge watching your favorite show for hours, no judgment. Speaking of dehydration, if you're not drinking enough water, your blood volume drops, making it harder for your brain to get oxygen. The result? Dizziness. If you're feeling woozy and notice dark pee, yep, we're going there. Grab some water ASAP. Low blood sugar is another sneaky culprit. Ever felt so hangry you'd fight someone for a granola bar? When your brain doesn't get enough glucose, dizziness can strike. This often happens if you've skipped meals or gone too long without eating. Pro tip, snacks are life. And let's not forget anemia. If your iron levels are low, your red blood cells struggle to carry enough oxygen to your brain. The result? You guessed it, dizziness, fatigue, and possibly the sudden need to nap in odd places. Stress and anxiety can give your head that funhouse feeling, that distorted perception of reality. When you're anxious or hyperventilating, less oxygen reaches your brain, which can make you feel lightheaded. Real talk, anxiety-related dizziness is super common and often feels worse in crowded places or stressful situations, because of course it does. And if you've ever had a panic attack, you know the drill, your breathing speeds up, your body tenses, and suddenly everything feels unreal. Your brain gets caught in a feedback loop of are we in danger, while your balance system struggles to keep up. If you're battling the flu and feeling dizzy, you're not alone. The flu can cause labyrinthitis or vestibular neuritis, fancy names for inner ear inflammation from a viral infection. When this happens, your balance system gets scrambled like bad Wi-Fi signals between your ear and brain. Add dehydration from fever or nausea, and suddenly life feels like a spinning top that doesn't seem to want to stop. Fevers from any infection can mess with hydration and electrolytes, so whether it's a stomach bug or another virus knocking you down, dizziness might tag along for the ride. Oh, and it's worth noting, ear infections can cause dizziness too, even if they don't hurt. If your balance feels totally off and you've got some ear pressure, an infection might be to blame. Ever notice how being dizzy makes you feel even more nauseous? Like, wow, I was already miserable. Let's add stomach-churning fun to my day. That's because when your eyes and inner ear send conflicting signals to your brain, like we're sitting still versus no, we're spinning, your brain gets confused and activates nausea as a defense mechanism. And if you're someone who gets motion sickness easily, dizziness might hit you harder. It's like your brain just can't handle too much movement information at once, so it throws in nausea for extra fun. Some meds list dizziness as a side effect, like antihistamines for allergies or decongestants for colds. Even pain relievers can sometimes lower blood pressure just enough to make things spinny. If you're already off balance and taking meds, check those labels. They might be part of the problem. And let's not forget caffeine and alcohol. Both can mess with your hydration levels and inner ear function, making dizziness worse. So if you're feeling woozy, maybe skip that extra espresso shot, or at least chase it with some water. How to stop the dizziness? First off, hydrate like you're preparing for a desert marathon. Water, electrolyte drinks, broth, whatever keeps those fluids flowing. Next, avoid sudden movements unless spinning uncontrollably is on your bucket list today. If standing up makes you feel woozy, sit up slowly first, then stand gradually. Think dramatic slow-motion movie sequence. Bonus points if there's epic music playing in your head while doing this. Oh, and here's a quirky but effective tip. Try staring at a fixed point when everything feels spinny. Dancers use this trick to avoid getting dizzy during spins. They focus their gaze on something stable to help their brains recalibrate. So pick a spot on the wall and give it some serious eye contact. You've got this. If dizziness lingers long after an illness, or if it's so intense that suddenly life feels like someone put you in a blender, it might be time to check in with a professional. Yes, even if doctor. Google says otherwise. Dizziness can sometimes signal other underlying issues that need attention, so don't hesitate to call in reinforcements if needed. Before you go, hit that like button and subscribe. Because understanding what's happening in your body shouldn't be a mystery. We've got plenty more answers coming your way. Oh, and tell us in the comments, what's the strangest dizziness moment you've ever had? Falling over while brushing your teeth? Tipping sideways in the grocery store? Let us know. And here's some information you probably didn't know you needed. Check out this video right here.